Cusick Group, and you can hear it. The dogs are barking. Securities are provided by Money Block. And right now we're seeing that the market, it finished a little bit on the downbeat. It's been the theme all week. You know, we saw that the S&P surrendered about 0.2% today. We're also seeing that the NASDAQ finished in the red as well, down about 0.2% as well. We saw that the Dow Jones finished the day down about 0.2%. So across the board, we're seeing the major indices down, but we did see that the small cap index did finish in the green. As a matter of fact, looking at the Russell 2000 D's futures, they finished up about 16. So they were in the green, and that's a positive note on the small caps and those domestically centric and sensitive stocks. Now, with that being said, you're looking at the overall week. The S&P 500, again, finished its 9th straight session being to the downside. What's the significance of that? Well, we get to talk a little history. You know, last time we saw this, where we had 9 consecutive days down in the S&Ps, was in 1980. That was December of that year. So very interesting. Now I could go through what's going on in the bonds, volatility, talk about the headlines, talk about the earnings, and wrap all that up. Go back and take a look at the archives, because really what we want to cover right now, going into this weekend, going into the election is, all right, if Clinton gets in, what's bullish, what's bearish? If Trump gets in, what should we look at as far as bullish and bearish opportunities? I'm going to give you some sectors that you can start looking at, and then you can drill down to the stocks. And we're going to talk more about that. I might even do something over the weekend, and I'm going to put something together for sure over the next 48 to 72 hours going into Monday and Tuesday's election. So, Clinton presidency, what sectors benefit? What would be bullish? You're going to take a look at aerospace names. So take a look at ITA. If you're going to look at the aerospace, start there with that ETF. Industrials, they would benefit from a Clinton presidency. Take a look at XLI, drill down from there. Semis, they would benefit from a Clinton presidency potentially. Take a look at SMH. Healthcare, Clinton in, healthcare could be potentially bullish for healthcare. Take a look at XLV and break it down from there. Alternative energy, you know, the First Solars, the Crees, and so forth. You could start taking a look at those names. Bonds, and specifically munis, taxable munis. Take a look at HYD. That's an ETF. That they would potentially benefit from a Clinton presidency. And then telecom, IYZ. They could potentially benefit from a Clinton presidency. Now, what wouldn't benefit? Well, anything that's been high flying. Anything that's at an all-time high. For example, take a look at NVIDIA. Now, while not at an all-time high, it's at highs we haven't seen in years. I'm just pointing that one out. You could see, based on what and again, I'm basing this off of what I've heard in the debates, what I've read in their platforms as far as, you know, defense, taxes, as well as how they want to deal with healthcare and so on and so forth. Their platforms that they've been out, not so much talking about publicly, but we have to read more to get through the rhetoric of them fighting back and forth. But anything where people would say, you know what, if she increases the cap gains, I want to get out of some high flyers that I've been in that are really hot. I want to take advantage of the current tax year's benefit of, you know, a lower cap gain tax. You might see some tax selling into that. Insurers, believe me, I'm going through it personally, being self-employed. Insurers are under a lot of pressure. You've seen it. As a matter of fact, I've had my personal premiums now for 2017. I was just told by my insurance company that my premiums are going to double. It makes me sick to my stomach. Anyways, not to get too private and public about that. And private jailers. She has been very vocal about the fact that she does not believe that there should be private jailers, that this should be all under the jurisdiction of the government. Now, let's say that Trump gets in. However unlikely you think that is, who would benefit? What sectors would benefit specifically? And again, like I said, I'm taking this based on their platforms that they put out there, the debates, so on and so forth. Aerospace and defense. That's going to be a standard with both of them. Industrials, healthcare. And now they have a different approach, but healthcare, trying to get it more competitive in his respect. Energy, and I'm not talking about alternative energy, which would benefit under a Clinton presidency. I'm talking about fossil fuels, oil, nat gas, also steel. If you want to take a look at XME as the starting point for the ETF and drill down from there, and volatility. Volatility will definitely be in play if Trump is elected, so that would have some upside potential there. What would react potentially negatively? Trade. We already know what his stance is on trade. He wants to really rework the deals. So that would be interesting, and we're going to see how that would wash out. But any exporter from the U.S. Is going to come under some pressure potentially with the Trump election. And automotive, because of the fact that there are quite a few countries. As a matter of fact, if you look at somewhere like China, China doesn't manufacture cars. China imports cars. We export cars to China. So the bottom line is that if all of a sudden we have new trade policies under Trump, that could impact any exporters. So you're seeing trade and specifically autos that could really start to be under pressure. So those are the sectors. Did name some general names because there may not be a sector ETF that tracks those. But you could basically drill it down this weekend, then break this list apart, see what looks interesting to you, start developing some watch lists, and then put a plan together about how you can add these sectors and maybe some specific names based on your risk tolerance, your objectives, and also your directional bias. And we're going to help you get there here at MarketStream.live. Well, this is Joe Cusick from the Cusick Group, securities provided by MoneyBlock. Wishing you a great weekend, folks. Well deserved. It's been a busy week, fun week. You know, the Cubs had their parade today. They were expecting close to 5 million people at the parade. Amazing. But you guys all have a great weekend. Do your homework, get ready for the elections, and keep your powder dry. Take care, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.